2, 1. Hello, people of the world. It is August 2021, and this is What the Funcast episode 122. That is three whole numbers. Man's waving his fingers around. Anyway, it is August 3rd. It is crazy. This year is flying by. I'm one of your hosts, Paul, and joining me is Mr. Valhalla himself, Ahmed. How are you?
Hello. How do you do, sir? So happy to be on the show.
He's fancy. Anyway, we're here to talk to you about all the things that you want to hear about, like, I don't know, video games, entertainment, bantering about burping, I don't know. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/whatthefuncast every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So we did start recording it live. A few people that actually listen told me that they didn't know that, so I wanted to make sure everybody knows it now. So if you don't know it now, I don't know what to tell you. But every 8 p.m. at night, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. at night, we record live on Twitch, and then it goes, and Ahmed bundles it up, wraps it with a little ribbon, puts a little bow on top, puts your favorite glitter all over it, and then puts it on all of the podcast services that you know and love, much like Spotify and Apple and Google Play.
And also YouTube. If you missed the live recording, YouTube. You can watch the video recording on YouTube, because they do expire off of our Twitch page after like 60 days or something.
Yeah, because Twitch hates fun, so...
basically, yeah, they said, what the fun? What the no fun?
What the no fun? Speaking of no fun, how was your week, Ahmed? What's going on?
Not much. Just been hanging in there. Not really doing. I mean, it's just kind of the dog days of summer. So just enjoying the weather.
I hate that you said that.
But it's like a real thing,
like so easily.
It's a thing. But yes, it's Google Podcast, not Google Play Music. But so we're on Google. But yeah, no, just
nobody uses Google, so losers get iPhones.
Wow.
I can
use Google Podcasts on iPhone. It's not restricted.
Oh, I can use Apple Podcasts on Google?
No, and that's Apple's fault. I don't know what to tell you. Actually, you probably can, because Apple Music is on Android. But yeah.
Yes, the dog days of summer. Go on.
Yes, dog days of summer. I have actually started watching things with my eyes again, because I feel like for the past few weeks, I'm like, I haven't watched anything. I haven't played anything. I don't know what I'm doing. But I played in 2 new games, watched, I guess, 5 movies, technically. Well, no, 4 movies and a whole series that I binged through because I couldn't stop watching because it was ridiculous. But I guess I'll start with the games. So, well, no, actually, I'll start with the movies, and then I know what I'm doing here. So I watched Fear Street Parts 1, 2, and 3, which are all 3 on Netflix. I watched them on Sunday, and it was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. It's a very, like, silly, campy, kind of like slasher horror movie trilogy. And I really enjoyed it. It's got me in the Halloween mood. So happy Halloween to everybody. Paul will argue and say it's Christmas, and Paul is wrong, so that's fun. But anyways, happy Halloween. And then I also watched Bo Burnham's Inside special, which I'm in the minority on this one because I know a lot of people liked it, and I was like excited about it. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is... I don't know why they even labeled this as comedy, because it's kind of just depressing. It's exactly what it sounds like. Bo Burnham made a movie during quarantine when he was stuck inside. And yeah, it wasn't exactly my cup of tea. I kind of was almost like ready to turn it off in the middle, but I was like, I made it this far, I might as well finish it. But the Jeffrey Bezos song is really fun. That's the best thing that's come out of that. I'm sure you've heard it all over TikTok at this point.
No, I haven't. I don't want to hear it.
You probably have, and you don't realize it's the one, but it's the one. It's like CEO entrepreneur born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. You ever heard that?
Great. Now we're going to copyright claim against us. Thank you. No, I haven't.
Well, now you have. It's been stuck in my head for like 2 weeks. But anyways, yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. I didn't really get the hype. I was not that satisfied with it. So, sure. Congratulations to Bo Burnham, I guess, though. But I also watched Sexy Beasts, which is a Netflix original dating show. And the premise is like it's all blind dates, and the way they get it to be a blind date is everyone's in this like extremely elaborate like makeup and costumes and whatnot, and it's so ridiculous. I like could not stop watching. I think there's only 6 episodes, and I watched them all in like one sitting because I was like, this is insane. I love it. I don't know. It's definitely worth a watch, at least an episode or 2. Specifically the one with the panda. That one's like the one. That one's hilarious.
Are they separate episodes, or is it one? Is it like a?
No, it's every episode. It's like a different person that dates like 3 people and tries to like pick their favorite of the three.
Oh, okay.
So they're all like, you can watch them in any order you want. The Panda episode is absurd. It's like absolutely ridiculous. It's like completely trash reality TV, but it's so funny.
How long are the episodes?
Like 25 minutes or 30 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect. We're gonna watch one tonight.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. But yeah, besides that, games. I tried The Ascent actually yesterday on stream, which is I don't know how to describe it. I guess it's like a twin stick shooter mixed with like a Diablo type RPG, and it was pretty fun. I'm enjoying it. I had to run it on like super low settings because, surprise, surprise, I still don't have a new graphics card, and apparently trying to run the game on high settings while also streaming was causing like Microsoft Flight Simulator type issues. So where it was like one frame every minute. So one day I'll get a graphics card, but regardless, the game is a lot of fun. I don't know if I'm actually gonna like sit through and beat it. It's a Game Pass game, so I have to like, it's not like I bought it with money, but it's enjoyable. I'm into it. And then we also played Pokemon Unite with guest stars Justin and Nuge, who joined us on last Thursday's stream.
Last Thursday, yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's like a multiplayer online or massively online battle arena, whatever MOBA stands for. Something about a battle arena. But it was a lot of fun. I think it was like the first Pokemon game that I like legitimately played. Like I still haven't played Let's Go Eevee that I still own, but whatever.
Which is so funny because that's like the most like this is the most radical not Pokemon game.
Like it doesn't
ever.
count as a Pokemon game. I feel like it's like it's a what's the word? It's League of Legends skin to Pokemon.
Right.
But it's very fun. It's a free to play, available on Switch if you have a Nintendo Switch Online. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I've been enjoying it, but I didn't play it since Thursday. Paul, I think you've played more than I have.
I've been playing it like here and there because it's literally a 10-minute battle or whatever. So I've been playing, and I'll tell you what. Thank God for Nuge and Justin explaining the rules, because had they not explained it the way they did, I would still be like failing miserably.
Yeah.
But anyway, they did a multiplayer online battle arena, is what Justin just said.
Yes.
And I too, Carla, fell asleep watching them and played The Ascent. Yeah, so it was good. I mean, I'm like level 9, I think now, and it's funny because I was talking to Logan about it, and he was like, "Oh, all I see is all this stuff that it's pay to win." And then Nuge had mentioned, and Justin, well, I think all of us kind of concluded that we were curious how it's play to win. And the reason why it's pay to win is because I guess you can buy different held items, and the held items are overpowered. So like you have a character that has a certain held item, whatever it might be, health or otherwise, or strength, and it's like extremely overpowered. So I think you're looking at like the minority. Like I played a bunch of rounds and we won a bunch of them, and I think that was just because of strategy more so than anything else, which is why I've been enjoying it. So I don't know, it's something different. I never played League of Legends. I never played Dota. I never played any of those games, but this was super cool, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And I've still been playing Ninetales the same way I did on Thursday night. So hopefully we can get into it again and play maybe on Thursday. I didn't see what everybody said. I know we were trying to play last night, and then it didn't work. And then we tried to play tonight, and I don't think everyone's free. So we'll have to see when Nuge and Justin are available again, and we can all play again. Maybe on Thursday. If not, maybe over the weekend or something. So, yeah. But it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I've just been picking up and playing it. And I was also, I was telling Logan how I guess I just shouldn't buy games anymore, because all I play is Tetris 99 and Pokemon Unite, all these free games, and yet I pay money for games I don't play.
Oh my god.
So, but yeah, so it's been enjoyable. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it was good. What else have you done?
That's it for you?
That was my segue into you, basically.
I fell down a rabbit hole here of IGN reviewed Pokemon Unite, and they didn't give it a review score, which I don't 100% know why. I guess because it's like a free game.
And I guess it's kind of ongoing and still like it's a service model game as opposed to being like this is the final release. So it's hard to review those kinds of games.
Right, yeah, I know, I 100% agree with you. And it's funny, because I guess they included, for some reason, all the Pokemon reviews they've ever done before, which is interesting to see, because, like, I've played a good amount of most of these games, except for the newer ones, I guess, maybe not as much, but anyway, it's just interesting to see the review scores that they've gone through and whatever. They gave, like, the first 4 Pokemon games, like, perfect 10s. And there's just so much nostalgia for those games. But anyway,
high praise.
I'm going off the edge here and going off track.
Off the
Anyway, what
edge.
did I do?
Don't go off the edge, please.
Well, you know what I mean. No edges. I guess I'll start with games first, and then I'll move into screaming about all the entertainment stuff that I consumed this week. So Pokemon Unite we talked about. I've tried Chasm, which is a let me look up what they describe it as. It's another indie game. It was a
On Switch or Game Pass?
it's on Switch. It's a Metroidvania type of game, developed and published by a studio. Oh no, the studio is called Maryland. Anyway, I was like, a studio in Maryland? No, a studio named Maryland. And it was like, I don't know, it's on sale for like $4 or $5, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. It's right up my alley where it's like 16-bit-ish, and it was a fun little game. I picked it up, I played it for about an hour, and I'm gonna play more of that. It was fun what I played. I have so many indie games I need to play, and yet I play all these bullshit free games instead. So I played Tetris 99. I've been getting back into that. I played a little bit of that before we played Pokemon Unite on Thursday. And then I was talking to Ahmed off stream or off recording before, but I played a little bit of actually a fair amount of Overwatch, which I know I probably shouldn't be playing given everything that started to come out over the past, I don't know, 48 hours or so, additional details about the whole Activision Blizzard craziness going on. But we'll get to that shortly. But I've been playing Lucio Ball because it's been an easy de-stressor, and I've even played a little bit before work on some days. So that's been helping relieve some stress, which has been nice. On the media front, we dove into Space Jam: A New Legacy on Sunday, and it was like I was telling Lauren, I'm like, I was so excited for the sequel because I have so much nostalgia for the original, and I've seen the original so many times, and I was super excited for it, and I just I understand where everyone's coming from with the critical part of it, right? Where it's like, spend more time on like the Looney Tunes and less time on like showing off all the properties, because everything, I mean, I don't know if you guys consider this a spoiler, but I mean, you're probably going in there for like the nostalgia more so than like the storyline. But there's a serververse, and Don Cheadle is the villain, and he, like the serververse literally is like where all of the Warner Brother properties are. So like they went through, like they didn't like actually have some of the characters. Like there were some cool cameos, but a lot of it was like very unnecessary. It's like a logo or like Hogwarts in the distance and like people flying on broomsticks. It's like, okay, like that's just so unnecessary. Like I get where they were going, but it's one thing if they like showed off some of that stuff, but they didn't. Anyway, all in all, like the last act, I guess like the last half, we'll say, or the last quarter was probably the best. And yeah, it just didn't have the same magic that the original had. So either way, it was enjoyable. It was free. It was on HBO Max, so it's not like we went to the movies or anything, so we enjoyed it. We have not watched Jungle Cruise yet. I really want to watch Jungle Cruise. Trying to debate if we're going to go and see that in the theater or just get it on Disney+. So I don't know what we're going to do, because if I get it on Disney+, I can just watch it after work one day. The theater is more of a voyage, it seems.
There's quite a few movies that came out this past weekend that I want to see. Jungle Cruise, The Green Knight, the new movie with Dev Patel. And
I saw that. I saw people talking about that.
Yeah, there was a lot of hype about it last year when it was supposed to come out, and then it was delayed, obviously, so that's finally out. I think it's critically acclaimed. And then there's this like horror movie that came out that's also pretty highly acclaimed, apparently, The Boy Behind the Door. I don't know. There's so many movies that are coming out all of a sudden, and I'm like, wait, slow down. Like,
it seems, well, it's funny because, and we'll get to this in a little bit, but it seemed like that was gonna happen with video games as well, and then they all got delayed. But anyway, that's another story.
Yeah, no, video game development I think takes a little bit longer. Like these movies are finished, and they just gotta find a date on the release calendar. So.
Well, right, and so it's interesting because I was looking on Disney Plus, and there's that series with
Monsters at Work.
No. We talked about it on the podcast once, where like Dwayne Johnson is like narrating behind the scenes of like
the attractions
or
whatever. Yeah, I have it on my list to watch, but I started watching it, and it's like,
oh really?
I started watching the first one, like the Jungle Cruise episode, I think it was. And just the way that it's narrated and the way it's presented, it's very like goofy and silly, as opposed to being like I imagine it was gonna be like the Imagineering story,
Defunctland stuff. Give it to me.
Literally, I thought it was gonna be more like Defunctland, but it's like very much like, okay, this is a really specific reference that not everyone's gonna understand, but when you're in a Disney hotel and you turn on the channel and then that one interview lady like talking to people, and she's like, guys, you gotta check out Typhoon Lagoon. They have the craziest slides. Like, that's how it's presented. And I'm like, this is stupid.
Oh, God.
I don't like this. So I didn't even finish the episode.
That's so unfortunate.
I'm sorry to dash your dreams. But one less thing to
You
have
just
on your
saved me a
list.
lot of time. Yeah,
Exactly.
you just saved me some time. I'll watch Sexy Beasts instead.
Oh, my God.
What is this? Like, there's so much stuff on...
Carla's right. Suicide Squad comes out this Friday, and apparently that's
I was
extremely
getting
critically
there.
acclaimed. Sorry.
I was getting there.
Carla already beat you to it.
Slip and slide squad, please. No, but we're going to talk about things in theaters. Like, that is one thing that...
Definitely want to see that.
I have been reading all these reviews about Suicide Squad, and, like, to be fair, I'll probably just watch it on HBO Max as well, because that'll be a good, like...
Is it coming to HBO Max as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, nice.
Yeah. So,
Although,
like,
I feel like that would be a fun one to watch in theaters, I think.
I think it would be a fun one to watch in theaters, but seeing as I have, like, so limited knowledge of DC, like, I kind of want to watch it on HBO Max to really get... Like, I can, like, pause it and, like, read stuff if I need to. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but I don't know. Not that I don't want to go to the movie theater, but I still, like... I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that's... I don't know. It is what it is.
I feel you. It's a hassle to be like, okay, now I got to get dressed and take a shower and go to the theater and drive there.
You just sit in the living room and be like, click, click, click. Like, I know people are gonna, hate me for it, but I don't know what to tell you.
No, it's all about having the option. But I guess
it's all about the convenience. There we go. I'm like, what's the C word? It's convenience.
Yep.
But yeah, so Suicide Squad, as Carla mentioned, is coming out on Friday, and I'm super excited for that because I actually watched the IGN review of it, which, not that they're like a good source for movies, but it gets, it gives me what I want. Like, I don't need like blatant spoilers, but I just need like someone's take on it just to hear what it's about.
Yeah.
And I've never seen any of the DC movies, and I was super excited for the original Suicide Squad, and then it was garbage Squad, so I didn't even bother watching it. Now that this one's good, I am so ready for this one. I'm really excited, and it brings back all the hype that I had for the original. So, what I was going to say about Disney Plus is that High School Musical the series is officially over. Season finale came out last Friday,
I'm so sorry for your life.
This is so sad. Yeah, so it's I've got my dose of teen drama, and now I guess I'm gonna have to wait another year and a half or whatever it's going to be until season 3 comes out. So
did they announce season 3? Is that happening?
I'd imagine they are. Here, let me look it up.
Like, did it? I mean, without spoilers, did it end in a way that leaves room for season 3? I guess season 1 didn't really.
These things always leave room for season 3. I mean, it could end. It could end right now, I guess.
I guess, not concerned, but I would think, like, well, besides the fact that, like, Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett are, like, the struggle, and she wrote a whole album about how she hates him. But, like, like, obviously there's drama there, but also she's, like, gaining significant fame as a result of this album. And, like, I don't know, is she gonna have time to do a silly Disney Plus show anymore? Like, now that she's extremely famous? I don't know. I was reading the Teeny Bopper blogs, and Olivia Rodrigo has confirmed that she is fully dedicated to High School Musical for at least 2 more seasons. Okay, there you go. All right.
She says that now. Wait till she hits her...
well, till she goes on a world tour, and she's like, actually, suddenly...
Anyways, hold on a second.
What
buzz. Olivia Rodrigo might leave High School Musical the series ahead of season 3.
Look what I said. I was just saying
God damn it.
Because, like, the whole rise to fame and the whole breakup, like, all that happened during the production of season 2. So, like, or, like, probably post-production, because I feel like it was filmed earlier on. So, like, what was on screen is probably, like, filmed way before any of this happened. So... I don't know, things change. Like, I'm sure if she didn't become a huge pop star with, like, a bunch of #1 singles, then she probably would have stuck on, but I don't know. I'm sorry to break your dreams. I don't know.
Speaking with The Guardian in May, Olivia refused to discuss her relationship with Disney. When asked if she is looked after by them, she said, "Oh ho ho, these are hot topics," and then explained that she doesn't want to, quote, get her foot in her mouth. Olivia also revealed that she is committed to High School Musical for 2 more years, but wants to now focus on music. Anyway, all right, let me not get any more depressed, please. It doesn't matter, actually. So, I mean, to be fair, like, the show is good with her, but this season, I feel like, took the spotlight off of her, and maybe it was intentional, but, like, there was a lot more character development for some of the other characters. So.
Oh, good, because, like, the first season was kind of her story. Is this season a different... Like, it focuses on different characters?
Yeah, it focuses a little bit on different characters. So
okay.
It's focused on same characters, but developing them a little bit more. And And I think it would still be good without her too, even though she's really good in it. I agree with you. There's obviously drama between the two of them, so don't want that spilling onto the set, But speaking of drama, the last thing that I watched that is also almost over is The Bachelorette. Buckle in, people. We got lots of drama coming up.
Oh my god.
We it's like, I don't know. We watched it with my sisters and my mom, and it's just the most ridiculous show on the planet. It is like the most cringeworthy show at times. And the minute you kind of get like, oh, this is a little bit interesting, it's like some stupid nonsense happens. You're like, what the hell?
Yep, it's always
going on?
The production team and the editing. It's like with the sound effects, like nothing could be happening, but to like zoom in on someone's face that's like maybe mildly like resting bitch face or whatever, and like that shrill sound.
Hold on, she locked herself in her room, right? Because she was like having like a freak out, right? And they just kept zooming in on the doorknob, zooming in on the mirror. Zooming on the doorknob, showing a pan of her living room with nobody in it. Like, zooming on the doorknob. I'm like, this is horrible.
It's just, they don't have footage. So, like, okay, well, let's do some random things, add a sound effect here.
It is the number of times this woman has chased after men down this goddamn stairwell is ridiculous. Like, it is just, like, it's whatever. It's kind of fun to watch, but there's times where it's like, this is ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous.
That's reality TV.
Anyway, we're now 22 minutes into the episode. As usual, we're going on and I'm spieling nonsense.
Yeah, we have quite a bit to cover.
Yes. All right, let's jump into the hot news, not hot toppies or hot topics or hot toddies. Hot toddies are coming, though. It is Christmas. Yes. Hot news for entertainment. Let's jump right into it. Why don't you take the first one, because you were hella hyped about this.
Yes. So this is a little bit old. This actually came out, like, right after we recorded our last episode 2 weeks ago. So this one's a little bit, wait, let me turn off this ring light. My face is like way overblown. Okay. Because my screen is very big and it's my own light apparently.
Wow.
Black Panther sequel has cast Michaela Cole in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which is super exciting. So this one comes from Variety. Character details are locked up per usual. Insiders say Cole has joined director Ryan Coogler at Atlanta's Pinewood Studios, where projected production began last month. Marvel Studios declined to comment on the matter. But she is known for actually being in a few things before this. She kind of exploded last year during the pandemic with her HBO Max series I May Destroy You, which was critically acclaimed and got 4 Emmy nominations for writing, directing, and producing, and starring. But before that, she was also in Black Mirror. She was in her own Netflix show called Chewing Gum, which I think is hilarious and needs season 3, but probably won't get one at this point because it's been so long. She actually was in Star Wars Last Jedi. She had a little cameo in there. So this is super exciting. I love her. I think she's an incredible actress. So I look forward to seeing what her role is. Chewing Gum is so good. It's such a funny show. And then speaking of other people joining the MCU, well, not joining. This was kind of a comeback. And this might be a mild spoiler. Paul just warned me. So, if you're spoiler averse, cover your ears for the next 15 seconds. But Vincent D'Onofrio of Daredevil fame, he was Wilson Fisk in Kingpin in the show, on the Netflix show. He's apparently going to be reprising his role as Wilson Fisk in the Disney Plus series Hawkeye. So that's super exciting. I don't know if that's... I don't know what this means for like Netflix and Marvel, like the Netflix Marvel shows and how they incorporate into the MCU, because they're no longer technically MCU canon. But it's good to see that they're kind of not replacing characters and they're using people that are already recognizable. I don't know. It's super exciting to me because it spells hope that maybe, Charlie Cox isn't finished with Daredevil, or Jessica Jones isn't finished with... Kristen Ritter isn't finished with Jessica Jones. And
so you said that the Netflix shows are not canon. Is that you just saying that, or is that confirmed?
I'm pretty sure that was confirmed.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was confirmed, that they're no longer like part of the official like MCU canon.
Good thing I didn't waste my time watching those garbage shows like Daredevil.
Wow. Okay.
I'm only kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, when does Hawkeye premiere?
Oh yes, Hawkeye premieres on November 24th.
Happy Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Screw Halloween.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited for that. Go watch Black Widow.
Oh yeah. Black Widow is fantastic for anyone that has not seen it yet.
Yes.
So, you want me to take the next one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know a little bit about this.
So it's all good. We're on the same knowledge base for this.
Oh, good, good, good. I don't know anything about any nonsense Netflix shows or Don Refrios or whatever this man's name is. Anyway, that was I butchered that
I
there.
don't know
I'm like,
what
oh,
you're
that
saying.
that sounded funny in my head. Don Refrio, Don Refrio. This man's name is whatever.
D'Onofrio,
Anyway,
let him live.
D'Onofrio. He's living. So anyway, Marvel's What If is the next major show to hit Disney Plus, and it is coming out in August or starting in August. And we did get confirmation this week that it is canon to the MCU, which is massive because that means the multiverse is here. The multiverse is real. We're going to start seeing stories from the multiverse. So, I guess mild spoilers again, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like we're in the territory now that like everything is a spoiler, right? It's at the point where, like the events of Loki happened. If you haven't watched Loki, go watch it. Me saying whatever I'm saying doesn't really matter because there's still stuff that happened in Loki that is specific to Loki, if that makes sense. So either way, the title of the next Doctor Strange movie coming out in early 2022 is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So that should give you a hint, which we didn't know shit about shit back when, and we were like, we don't know what that means. Now we know damn well what it means.
Yes.
So it's getting super exciting. It's getting super confusing. I was even talking to Lauren about it, and she's like, I'm officially already confused. And like, What If is going to make it even more confusing. So What If, the premise of What If, for those of you living under a rock and maybe that don't know, is that it's going to explore what if Killmonger rescues Iron Man from the exploded van from the first movie. And you okay?
What's happening? Me? I'm
Oh
fine.
yeah, you like raise your arm.
No,
and
I'm
put it
good.
down? Oh,
Everything's fine.
I was like, what are you doing?
I thought you were talking to like Lauren. I'm like, why are you looking at me when you're talking to Lauren?
No. I was talking to her
I'm just, like,
earlier.
resting my
Earlier.
arm. We're good.
No. Okay. Anyway, your arm's floating. Yeah. See, this is why you need to watch live. So anyway, it's pretty much about stuff if like Killmonger rescued Iron Man from the van in the first Iron Man movie instead of like the military or whatever, and like then Iron Man becomes evil and stuff like that, right? What if Captain America was actually played by help me out here,
Agent Carter. What if it was
Agent
Captain
Carter.
Carter? Yeah.
Captain Carter, yes. So like all these different like what if sort of scenarios. What if Gamora was the Mad Titan instead of Thanos and stuff like that. So all these really cool ideas that pretty much would become thought up of by maybe children or people with like a vast imagination. They're bringing that to life now in the animated series. So anyway, let's jump right into it. IGN reports on that it is officially MCU canon. So they're quoting here, speaking to IGN, What If head writer AC Bradley made it very clear that despite its animated style and anthology premise, everything in the show is being considered as canon. The events of What If are canon. It's part of the MCU multiverse. The multiverse is here. It is real and is absolutely fantastic, people. There's one MCU connection that Bradley was less forthright on. However, whether Wright's Uatu is one of the Watchers.
Yeah, Uatu the Watcher, Uatu the Watcher is like, in the comic books, is who like branches off these timelines or whatever from the main timeline for like the what if scenarios. But the Watchers were also at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So that's what that's
right. Those were the gold people, right?
I think so.
They were like gold or whatever. Yeah, I remember
Vaguely?
this vaguely.
Yeah.
And Rocket stole like a grenade or something, or a bar of gold or something. Yeah.
Something.
Okay, I remember this.
Yeah.
Wright's Uatu is one of the Watchers we previously saw at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Once again, I guess that's a spoiler for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and not that it really matters.
Sorry,
but,
too late. Like, come on, get it together.
As we learned, Bradley accidentally pitched some of the plot of Guardians 3 while coming up with what-if storylines. And the writer clearly doesn't want to step on the toes of any other MCU projects. This will be Chadwick Boseman's final performance as T'Challa, who becomes an alternate Star-Lord in the course of What If. This take on T'Challa is lighter, funnier, and flirtier.
I guess. There's a weird typo in though. It's like flyer tier, but I think it's supposed to be flirtier.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be flirtier
Yeah.
than the Black Panther we know. What If premieres on August 11th, exclusively on Disney+, and it'll see the return of multiple MCU actors who reprise their roles in animated form. This includes Haley Atwell as Agent Peggy Carter, Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster, Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Josh Brolin as Thanos, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, and the late Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa. But who's missing, Ahmed?
Mr. Drax, Dave Bautista, And funny enough, someone tweeted and said, "Hey Dave, why won't you be voicing Drax on What If?" And he quote tweeted and he said, "Let's start with I was never asked." And then James Gunn replied, director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, going, "What?" So,
yeah, I don't know. I saw something about, like, and we were talking about this off stream, but I remember seeing something like Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't going to be doing Doctor Strange either. What if actors not asked?
For most, like, I would assume, or I think it was assumed that, like, for a bunch of these actors that couldn't do it, like, you know, Scarlett Johansson's not on this list, Chris Evans is not on this list. I don't know if they're, you know, their characters even featured in any of these episodes, but there are a few notable names missing. But, like, you would assume it's because of scheduling conflicts or whatever. But, like, to not even be approached,
Yeah.
come on.
Let me see. See, Scarlett Johansson isn't voicing Black Widow on Marvel's What If. That was 2 days ago from comicbook.com.
Yeah.
Haley will be becoming Captain Britain. Scarlett Johansson will not be reprising her role. Johansson claims that... that's the next article.
Yeah, that's more Marvel drama coming at you. Dave Bautista's not the only one that got a... Well, actually, it's more so Disney drama, I guess, than Marvel drama, because this is has the potential to blow up. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah, go ahead. You can talk about it. I'll look for the article that I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah. So Scarlett Johansson, as you may have heard, is suing Disney for the release of Black Widow. So this, I want to keep this short because there's a lot of like updates and back and forth and Disney firing back and blah 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 blah. But basically Johansson contract reportedly was assuring her that the movie would be released exclusively in theaters because a part of her cut of profit from the movie is based on box office numbers. So when Disney decided to release the movie on Disney Plus at the same time, obviously that cuts into her profits because apparently the movie through Disney Plus Premier Access made a significant amount of money that possibly could have been box office revenue. Despite it breaking like box office records, it's still shitty. Now, you might be thinking, Scarlett Johansson's rich. She doesn't need the money. Why is she suing? Blah, 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 blah. You know, this is her last movie of Marvel, so she wants to like give them a finger and run away. I think this is more setting the precedent for smaller actors that can't necessarily defend themselves in the same way. And I am with her on this because it's absurd that they would, you know, do something like that. So everyone I think is in support of Scarlett in this case. Now Disney then fired back. Let's see. Here we go. New York Times reporter Brooke Barnes has shared parts of a statement Disney's given in response to Johansson's lawsuit. According to Barnes, Disney gives no merit whatsoever to the lawsuit. Instead, it's sad and distressing, and in callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Barnes also reports that Disney says it has fully complied with Ms. Johansson's contract and that releasing Black Widow on Disney Plus Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she's received to date. For reference, the lawsuit says that she's missing out on $50 million in revenue at least. Scarlett Johansson's talent agency then responded back to Disney's statement. Her talent agency is called Creative Artists Agency, and they issued a response saying that Disney's statement was sad and distressing. Shamelessly and falsely accused Ms. Johansson of being insensitive to the global COVID pandemic in an attempt to make her appear to be someone they know, and I know she isn't. So this also kind of cuts into basically every movie that's being released on Disney Plus. So like Cruella, for example, Emma Stone's contract, apparently there's rumors that Emma Stone is also considering suing. This also affects probably Jungle Cruise, because I'm sure the contracts with Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt are also dependent on box office revenue. So this kind of throws a lot of things into the air of, are they also going to join her and sue? So I don't know. Very, very big, a lot of drama in general. But apparently Kevin Feige is hugely embarrassed by the whole deal and how Disney's handling it. So, sorry, I forgot to quote IGN before, but this is all coming from IGN. We're using them a lot tonight, apparently. But to quote, they say, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige is reportedly angry and embarrassed over Disney's response to Scarlett Johansson's lawsuit, feeling the company did not do enough to make right with one of Marvel's biggest stars. In the What I'm Hearing newsletter from former Hollywood Reporter editor Matthew Belloni, Feige apparently lobbied Disney to keep Black Widow theatrical only release, so as not to upset Johansson. Feige is a company man and prone to corporate showdowns or shouting matches, but I'm told he's angry and embarrassed. He lobbied Disney against the day and date plan for Black Widow, preferring the big screen exclusivity and not wanting to upset his talent. Furthermore, the report says that when the shit hit the fan, the movie started tanking, and Johansson's team started threatening litigation. Feige tried to get Disney to make things right with her. It's unfortunate because this probably means this is the last time we're ever going to see Scarlett as Black Widow, because I don't think that they're going to be running to employ her for any possible future projects. Not that there would be any future projects given the fate of her character. If you haven't seen Endgame at this point, sorry. But I don't know, maybe if like they develop a ride in the Disney parks or something and they need to cast her for something like that, or if they're developing another show like the What If thing, like maybe that gets a season 2, like we're probably never going to see her in that role again, which is, I guess, unfortunate. But
it is unfortunate. I did check I fact checked myself, and I was wrong. So Benedict Cumberbatch is in What If.
Oh.
It looks like Scarlett Johansson is like the big glaring omission. There's like a whole comicbook.com put a whole list of all the actors that are confirmed. And it's like there's so many people on here that they all look like they're here.
Yeah. I mean, What If has been in development for a while, so her omission has nothing to do with this drama.
Yeah, I don't see Chris Evans on here.
Yeah,
I don't see Chris Evans, but aside from that, I mean, Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson are the two big glaring omissions for me. Not to say I've looked at every single name and every single actor and whatever, but
they might just not be involved in any of the episodes, so whatever.
Yeah, maybe, right? And like the whole thing with this, I agree 100% with you that it is setting a precedent. It does make sense now, because for a while, like even during Disney Plus's like big day, like their marketing day or whatever the hell they called it, where they like announced everything, I don't even think they announced Black Widow coming to Disney Plus. Like there were a number of events where they didn't announce Black Widow coming to Disney Plus. It's like Black Widow is coming out in July or like Q2 2021 or whatever it was, right? And there's always like beating around the bush, which is probably the byproduct of Kevin Feige putting his foot down and not wanting to upset his talent. Because look, I mean, fans are not going to be, I mean, hell, you and I would not be like okay with a character being recast. It's happened a couple times, obviously with like War Machine, right? War Machine was recast from what's his name, the first guy from Iron Man.
I don't remember. I know it's Don Cheadle now, but I don't remember the current.
Was it the guy from Snow Dogs? No, not Cuba Gooding Jr. Hold on, no, it wasn't him. Hold on,
that's what I wanted to say, but I'm like, I don't think it's him. I forgot.
I don't think it's him.
Terrence Howard. Rita and Carla got us in the chat. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so like, you know, they recasted him. They recasted I think maybe one other character, but overall, all in all, like they haven't recasted anybody. And like that's what everybody got really sensitive about, obviously, with T'Challa, with the Chadwick Boseman passing away. Like you can't just recast the character. Like that'd be really insensitive. I think the same would go here with recasting Black Widow, where I'm sure Black Widow plays a substantial part in other storylines, and it's unfortunate now that like we have this issue. And honestly, I'm surprised it hasn't happened more, like over the course of these 20-something movies that we've seen now. But it's still just as frustrating. It's
like this all could have been really avoided easily if they just renegotiated the contract to give her also a cut of the premiere access money. But
right.
They just apparently were unresponsive. So
right, which is crazy, and that's like that's corporate greed. Yeah, it's corporate greed, unfortunately. Which, you know, we've got a lot of corporate issues coming up here, so it's unfortunate that that's what it is, and you know, hopefully her her agency or her attorney or whoever it may be can, you know, get back at Disney, and hopefully Disney will be the better person or be the better collective company, and just come back and give her what's rightfully hers. Because frankly, Black Widow is really good, and it's not like a stinker. It's not a John Carter, right? It's not like a bad movie. So
yeah,
I think she should be rewarded as such. I think that's, you know, pretty shitty.
Yes.
She gave it her all, so Disney should be paying her for her all.
And you know what? It almost sets a precedent too for the Pixar teams that worked on Soul and Luca that also didn't get theatrical releases. And I'm sure that a lot of their profits or like bonuses or whatever also depend on a box office. I don't know if it was negotiated. I'm kind of just speculating here, but
right,
like they probably didn't have enough capital to sue or do anything major. I don't know how that all worked.
If you're talking about the employees that are working on it, I think they're salaried. If you're talking about the talent involved in the Pixar movies, I think the voiceovers are a little different because you also have like you're paying for the voice to voice the character as opposed to the physical
like,
being on in the movie, right?
Yeah,
Like
it might be different.
if you see Scarlett Johansson on the street, you're like, oh my god, that's Black Widow. If you see Josh Gad, you're like, that's Olaf. If you see like, if you see, I don't know, Kristen Bell, you're not. I don't think people are gonna immediately be like, oh my god, that's Anna from
no, she's
Frozen.
Homegirl from The Good Place.
Yeah, right. So and if you see Adina Menzel on the street, you're like, Adele Dazeem from the Oscars.
From Wicked.
From Wicked, yes.
Adele Dazeem from Wicked. Veronica Mars, remember that? That's a throwback. Throwbacks in the chat.
Stop! Can you guys chill? Between Carla and Rita, they're all sitting here like freaking out, saying the same thing. They're really they're using the one whole brain cell tonight.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so anyway, let's move into the hot news in the gaming space, starting with some really disgusting news.
Yeah, but I think it needs to be talked about.
It does. It absolutely does. And we didn't talk about it last time.
Split this one? Because this is heavy. There's a lot happening here.
Yeah, I mean, I can... Oh, you're right. There's like 100 updates here.
So if you scroll down, we're on IGN, but also so crediting them now before I forget. If you scroll down to where it says... I'll just start this off. So, following a 2-year investigation by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, the state has filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard for fostering a frat boy culture in which female employees are allegedly subject to unequal pay and sexual harassment. And this is like a mind-blowing lawsuit. Like, the full details are insane. I've like seen a few pages of it, like, cropped and posted on Twitter, and I've also seen like the screenshots from social media that the lawsuit references. Just really terrible stuff. Like, the worst thing I've seen, I mean, let me read this first and I'll get into it. Maybe they'll cover it. But as reported by Bloomberg, Activision Blizzard is being accused by the state of California for discriminating against female employees at nearly all levels of employment, including in regards to compensation, promotion, assignments, and termination. The state alleges that the leadership has failed to address any of the outstanding issues or prevent them from occurring in the workplace. Says Activision Blizzard, which is made up of about 20% women, assigns women and women of color to lower paid and lower opportunity levels with lower starting pay for similar work as their male counterparts. Also accuses fostering a pervasive frat boy workplace culture in the office. Male employees are said to drink copious amounts of alcohol as they make their way through cubicles and often engage in inappropriate behavior towards female employees. Male employees are said to come to work hungover, play video games during work while delegating their responsibilities to female employees, engage in banter about their sexual encounters, talk openly about female bodies, joke about rape. Just, like, literally everything they tell you not to do to be a decent human being in the world, and yet. So really awful stuff. But one of the things that I saw that really, like, struck me is, holy shit, this is bad. Apparently at 2013 BlizzCon, a really notable, I can't quote any names because I don't remember them, but one of the notable developers that's like called out in the lawsuit literally called his hotel room the Cosby Suite. This was like during Bill Cosby's whole allegations and whatnot and accusations of sexual misconduct, and they literally have like a group photo of all of them, and it's a bunch of like developers that are still at Blizzard today, literally holding a framed photo of Bill Cosby. Did you pick up Ray?
I know. We interrupt this broadcast. Hold on. Ray has like never... Relax.
She's like, why are you holding me?
Say
Are you
hi
taking
to
me to the
everybody.
vet? Oh my goodness.
Say hi to everybody.
I've never seen you pick her up in your life.
This is like the second time in 2 weeks now. Okay, she is ready to jump.
She's like,
if I let her...
that's enough.
Shh. Ready? Hold on. Let's see if I can do this.
You gotta squeeze her like a football.
Stop.
A child.
Stop, Ray. Ah! She is literally... Hold on.
Did she let you pick her up, or did you like just...
I just scooped her up, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was letting me pet her. Ray, hey, it's okay.
She's like, please, you're
Say
gonna
hi to
take me to the
everybody.
vet, I know it.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi, Ray.
Okay, you're gonna put your relax.
I think you just have to forfeit.
Ray.
Just throw her on the ground.
Stop.
She's like, please, I hate this.
No, she likes this now when I pet her belly.
Oh, okay.
Look at her.
There you go.
No,
Now she's like, that's the stuff. Okay, I'll
she
reconsider.
really does. She's like, okay, so we're not going to the vet? You're not taking me anywhere? Okay.
Don't play her.
Ray, show everyone your pretty colors.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, sorry. Continue your shitty
great.
story.
It was a great break. from that. So just awful stuff. The whole Cosby Suite and nonsense, and they would text like, "Oh, we're gonna bring back all the girls to the Cosby Suite," and like, not a good place to be at all. So there's a few updates here. This all kind of originated on July 21st, which I think was right after our last episode as well. There's a lot of things that happened right after we ended the last episode. This came out exactly at 9:07 p.m., which I think we ended at recording at like 9. So on July 23rd, Blizzard president J. Allen Brack emailed staff a company addressing the recent lawsuit, calling the reported behavior completely unacceptable, pledging to discuss issues with employees and help the company move forward. Blah, 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 blah. You know, the very standard corporate lingo of like, oh, this is crazy. There's no way we're allowing this, blah, blah, blah. We have to do better. And a lot of employees called it out basically for the bullshit. And we're like, this is not what we want. We want actual action items. The way she leapt out of your arms immediately.
It was like, peace out.
I'm done. But they were like, yeah, this is not going to cut it. We need to see actual action taken. So they staged a company walkout, I believe, last Wednesday on the 28th. And then on the 29th, Activision Blizzard says that former senior creative director, here we go, Alex Afrasiabi, who is the guy that's named in the lawsuit, was fired in 2020 for misconduct in his treatment of other employees. He's the one that hosted the Cosby Suite. In a statement to Kotaku with regard to Afrasiabi's involvement in the so-called Cosby Suite hotel room, a Blizzard spokesperson wrote, "An employee brought these 2013 events to our attention in 2020. We immediately conducted our own investigation and took corrective action. At the time of the report, we had already conducted a separate investigation of Alex and terminated him for his misconduct." A source within Blizzard tells IGN that he was also leading an incubation project at the company as recently as May 2020. The source believes that Afrasiabis left the company after the project wasn't approved. So we have contacted Blizzard to comment on the discrepancy. So apparently Blizzard's saying they fired him. He's saying that he left of his own volition. Who knows? So this is all wild. But then as of this morning or yesterday, was it this morning? Someone was like, J. Allen Brack was actually just ousted.
Yeah.
So Jason Schreier kind of compiled a timeline to help clarify the context of things and what's been happening at Blizzard in the past decade, essentially. So in 2007 and 2008, Activision and Vivendi Games / Blizzard merged. Blizzard largely was left autonomous. And then in 2013, Bobby Kotick bought out Vivendi and seized total control of Activision Blizzard. Soon begins installing his own lieutenants at Blizzard. And then in 2017 to 2018, Blizzard revenues are tanking. Activision starts pushing the company to cut costs and produce more games at a faster pace, which I think we've kind of seen the effects of. 2018, Morhaime, who I'm not actually sure who is, sick of Kotick, resigns. Then J. Allen Brack takes over. And in 2018 to 2020, Blizzard's reputation is smacked by Diablo Immortal, Warcraft 3 Reforged, Blitzchung. And then in 2019 to present, obviously, Activision begins eliminating and consolidating many of Blizzard's non-game developer roles, closing offices in France and the Netherlands. And then in 2021, obviously, we get the whole lawsuit revealing all of the sexual abuse and discrimination that's been happening, both pre and post Activision. And then as of today, Kotick ousted J. Allen Brack, which both shows that he's taken action and given him an opportunity to exert even more control over Blizzard's operation. So to be determined whether Blizzard will actually become a healthier workplace for women, but it will definitely become a very different company. Very tumultuous times at that company right now.
Yeah, and as of 4 hours ago, Jason Schreier reported that Blizzard's head of HR, Jesse Mishuk, is also no longer part of the company, Bloomberg has learned. So I think that you're going to continue to see these crazy shakeups. And I think a lot of people are going to be fired, and I think they rightfully should. I mean, I think that, frankly, I think that they need to make an example out of these people, because it's absolutely disgusting. Like, to make a Cosby Suite, even if it was back in 2013, I don't care. Like, if that came to light in 2020, like, I don't know. It kills me to even think that it took this long for them to act on stuff like this. It's just,
yeah.
It's
like
just
a lot
so
of
crazy that it's.
The Cosby Suite was like the main thing that like shook me, but there was like a lot of allegations in the lawsuit. I mean, the lawsuit's like hundreds of pages.
There was one thing that I think you and I. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Good.
No, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, it's allegations that are happening, or that are things that have happened up to like recent years, like up to 2021 even. So
There was
it's not
something
been
about like a camera underneath the sink in the bathroom pointing at the toilet. Like,
at I saw that, but that was at Activision Blizzard.
I thought that was, yeah.
Holy
Let
shit!
me confirm before I spread rumors here.
I didn't realize that. And Carla is apparently saying that the woman who killed herself post Cosby Suite thing. I didn't realize there was a woman that killed herself after that.
Oh my god!
Like, it's just awful. Like, I just have no comment. It's absurd. I mean, if you as a person in your day-to-day life are witnessing any kind of misconduct towards women, towards minorities, to really anyone, not even just towards women, but like, I mean, realistically, no one is going up and grabbing or talking about Cosby Suite and bringing up men, but like, if you're witnessing harassment against anybody at all in your place of work, in your friends group, call it out. Like, this is how the reason that this culture was allowed to be cultivated at the companies, because everyone kind of just let it happen and agreed with it and was comfortable with it. So call it out. You have to call it out. This is absolutely
Yeah, and that's why there is an HR department. It's literally human resources like that. And if you're not getting what you need from an HR department, then you need to take more extenuating action. Really, is what you need to take. So, Alana Pierce actually tweeted on July 30th. Quote, an Activision IT worker pleaded guilty to mounting a camera under the sink in a, quote, manner to point at the toilet in 2018 court records show.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is...
So, it's,
distressing.
Okay. There's
more now? What's going on? Please, no more. I've had enough.
This is vile. A Blizzard recruiters asked a hacker if she, quote, liked being I shouldn't even read this on the podcast. It's horrible.
Now I gotta know. Damn. I mean, I understand it's horrible, but I'm really curious now.
Yeah, this comes from Vice on July 30th as well. Company employees at a hacking conference made several inappropriate comments to a security researcher who was inquiring about Blizzard's job openings. In August 2015, Blizzard employees were at a major cybersecurity conference in Las Vegas where the company was one of the sponsors, had a booth in the recruiting area. Emily Mitchell, a security researcher who at the time was looking for a job, approached the Blizzard booth to see what positions were open at the company. Mitchell told Waypoint she loves PC games, played Diablo, Blizzard's role-playing game. When she got to the table, she said she asked about the penetration testing position. Penetration testing, or pen testing, is the industry term for a security audit. Mitchell said she was wearing a t-shirt made by a cybersecurity company, Secure State, which had penetration expert on the front. One of the Blizzard employees first asked if she was lost, another asked if she was at the conference with her boyfriend, and another one asked if she even knew what pen testing was. One of them asked me when was the last time I personally penetrated, if I liked being penetrated, and how often I got penetrated. Mitchell told Waypoint, I was furious and felt humiliated, so I took the free swag and left.
Oh my God. I mean, good for her. I'd take the free swag and leave too.
The headline, I was like, wait a second. Why are the headline says Blizzard recruiters asked hacker if she liked being penetrated at job fair. I didn't know about the other context there, so at least that fits in with the article. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Personally, I don't even know how people like this exist, but maybe I'm the minority. Whatever. I just don't understand how it's people can be so vile.
Common human decency. I don't get it. I don't get it. How is this like I never understood why HR classes needed to be taken. You go through those silly corporate HR things, and it's like, here's what not to do. Don't grope somebody, and you're like, well, obviously I wasn't planning on doing that anyway. And then you hear about this, and you're like, I see what the audience is now, because clearly this isn't common sense, I guess. Were you raised in the jungle?
They're literally the most cringeworthy training videos too, because it's literally someone that will actively grab someone in the workplace, and it's people do that, and it's yeah, apparently people do. Maybe because we work in decent places that we don't see that, but I guess these toxic workplaces exist, right? And the craziest thing is, I used to work in California, and I saw the Blizzard office in Irvine, and that's where their main office is. And I was like, wow, it must be so cool. You see the Blizzard gate, it must be so cool to work there. Holy shit. No, it clearly was not great to work there. And people were, obviously many women were being humiliated, and it's just disgusting. And it's so sad because obviously we play a lot of Overwatch, and we're big fans of Overwatch, and Overwatch is unfortunately a Blizzard game, and it's like where do you go from here? Like, do you just not play their games? Do you, like what do you do? Do you hope that they do better? I mean, it's just so,
Yeah.
it's just so, it's
It's extremely
mind-boggling.
yeah, mind-boggling, distressing, depressing.
I just can't even believe people like
Awful.
that exist. Like that's I'm still stuck on that. Like everyone's oh, like the whole thing when Trump, made that comment years ago, and people are like, oh, it's locker room banter. Like locker room banter? Like people talk like that even in the locker rooms?
Like I don't know what locker room you've been to. I've been in plenty of locker room in my life. In high school, in college, at gyms in New York City.
Yeah, I don't
I've
know.
never-
Maybe times have like changed for the better, obviously. That
Yes.
but hey, riddle me this. Don't like I said, don't be an asshole or a male chauvinist pig. I mean, it's pretty
Yes.
simple. So
Like, it's literally just frat boy banter. That's what it is. It's not locker room banter. It's frat boy banter. Maybe that's what it is.
frat boy banter. Yeah,
We
frat
weren't
boy
in a
banter,
frat,
too.
so we're saved.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Anyway, so the moral of the story is, obviously, like Ahmed said, that behavior is completely unacceptable. And if you see it anywhere, frankly, on like not even in the workplace, but out in the streets too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Literally,
it's like it's not
in your
not
friend
right.
group. If you see a friend of yours being an asshole, call it out because
Right.
they're probably not going to listen to an HR video, but they might listen to a close friend, and that's how you can
Yeah.
affect change in the world. All right,
Right.
now that we're almost at an
So-
hour, we have so much other news to cover. But
Yeah, I this Annapurna thing, games were announced and Stray was shown off.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games in here that frankly I have never heard of in my life.
I mean, yeah, it was a showcase for new games, but yeah, I don't think covering them on a podcast without being able to visually see them will make any sense. But we did see gameplay for Stray, which was announced at the PlayStation Showcase back in July 2020, which is like a cat.
that's the game.
Yes, you play as a little cat and you do like little fun things. You wander around the city. It is coming to PS4, PS5, and PC in early 2022. So that looks exciting. And if you haven't seen the trailer, it's like a good 4.5 minutes and looks very good. And I'm highly interested in playing a little cat that goes. Pss, pss, pss. So I guess the cat doesn't do that, but other people might do that at you in the game. I wonder
Maybe.
if you could say pss, pss, pss into the controller and the cat comes to you. I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will.
All right, you want to take this next one?
Yes. So, in PlayStation news, moving right on down, Horizon Forbidden West has been delayed. We all were hoping this wouldn't happen, and here we are. So it's pretty sad. I don't know what there is to say about it. It's it's disheartening. We're reaching the point where it's like, I mean, we'll get into a couple others here, but like Horizon Forbidden West is probably the largest title outside of like Ratchet and Clank to come out this year, probably that Ahmed and I are interested in. And I'll say that on behalf of both of us because I'm pretty sure that's the fact, right?
Yes.
We're both big fans of Horizon, Forbidden Dawn,
Zero Dawn?
Zero Dawn. I'm like, it's not forbidden. Wait a second. Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I had to force Ahmed. A lot of us had to force Ahmed to play the game, but
Oh
once
my
he did,
God.
he really enjoyed it. So,
Yes.
anyway, this one comes from Bloomberg. It was a rumor by Jeff Grubb and then confirmed by Bloomberg. Quoting, Sony Corp has delayed the upcoming PlayStation game Horizon Forbidden West to the first quarter of 2022, according to a person familiar with the matter. Previously, it had been scheduled for release this holiday season. In June, the PlayStation Studio head Herman Holst said the game's holiday release date was tentative. Quote, for Horizon, we think we're on track to release this holiday season, he said on the PlayStation blog, but that isn't quite certain yet. We're working as hard as we can to confirm this to you as soon as we can.
So
Yeah,
long
it's-
holiday, I guess. That's fine.
Yeah, it sucks, but I guess it is what it is, right? So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but I guess it's for the better, like you said. And even though it's kind of disheartening
Yes.
to see, so
Something else was also delayed, unfortunately, but not as long. Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I think we were both super excited about. It's like very much looked like Pixar the game.
Right.
Very, very fun art style. It was delayed until September 21st, which isn't too bad. That's now next month, which is wild to think about because I can't believe that it's August still. Like, it still feels like we're in the beginning of 2021, but here we are. Time really
Right.
does elapse. It's as Smash Mouth said. Years stop coming. They don't stop coming.
I really can't stand you.
They were right.
They were right.
Do you want me to wrap up the PlayStation news and you can take Xbox?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Perfect. All right. So Sony's first PS5 software beta arrives with M2 SSD support, so we can finally buy M2 SSDs for $1,000 and plug them into your PS5 for $500, and expand the amount of storage you get. SSDs are not cheap, but this is exciting, kind of. So Sony notes that you'll need an M2 SSD that's PCIe Generation 4, which is like the most expensive type of SSD you can find. And it has read speeds of over 5,500 megabits per second or faster, which is doubly harder to find. But at the very least, there are a number of Gen 4 Gen 4 drives that will be supported out of the gate, including Samsung's 980 Pro and Western Digital's SN850. For reference, those 1 terabyte for the Samsung one is $230, and 1 terabyte for the Western Digital one is, actually, I don't know. It hasn't been released yet, so who knows. Actually, no, it has been released. This is an old article. We're good. Anyways, they're expensive, moral of the story. You also may need to consider the cooling requirements for using an M2 SSD in a PS5. So some SSDs are like those little thin chips, but sometimes they literally have like a heat sink on top of them, and like some heat sinks will fit in the PS5, some won't, and so it makes the whole process a little bit more complicated than it really needs to be, because you have to like keep into account like making sure it stays cool so it doesn't overheat and blah 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 and all this drama. And so in response to all this, Microsoft, Xbox specifically, tweeted out, "Here's how easy it is to upgrade the storage in your Xbox Series X," and literally showed a 2-second video of you like plugging in their proprietary like peripheral attachment thing, which is roughly the same cost as it is to buy a regular internal SSD. So
I'll tell you what though, like and not for nothing, as much shit as they got for that, at the same time, if I want to upgrade my storage on my Xbox, I'm like, oh, I'll just buy like the SSD thing, like that plug-in. Like I'd rather have that proprietary thing than have like all these asterisk crosses, whatever
Fine
other
print.
symbol, right? Of like, oh, well, it might work, but if it doesn't, just go back to your standard hard drive that you have inside the PS5.
Yeah, and then it's like there's no guarantee that even if the SSD is faster, that it'll like run games in the same way that they're meant to be played. Specifically, a game like Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which requires like a super fast SSD to teleport you between worlds, like without any lag. I can't imagine if that like would introduce bugs if you're using like maybe a slower SSD that doesn't necessarily match the internal PS5 ones.
Right.
But
that's where like I err on the side of caution with that, because it's like I don't know. I don't know. I will not be rushing to buy external storage. I have that 1 terabyte solid state that I bought for like, I don't know, $99 or $95 or whatever, and I bought an enclosure, and that has my PS4 games on it, and then I cycle through the PS5 games, and that's just, it is what it is, and I'm fine with that.
I haven't come close to running out of storage on PS5 games, especially because there are very few PS5 games anyway, so we're good. Like I'm good for a while, and hopefully, come a year or two when the storage is actually a concern, SSDs will be faster and a little bit cheaper, and you won't run into many issues.
Storage always goes down in price. Always goes down in price.
Yeah, it's always going to get bigger. It's always going to get faster. And it's always going to get cheaper. And presumably by that time, the manufacturers like Western Digital and Seagate will probably make specific models that are like tested to fit and work with the PS5, and they'll have like some kind of certification, maybe be like, oh, this one runs really well, kind of thing. So we'll see.
Even then, like, I don't. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think I saw one from like one of the manufacturers that's marketed like as a PlayStation, like it's made for PlayStation 5 almost. I know Mark Cerny retweeted one. But anyway, I don't know. It's a lot of money. It's crazy. Yeah, and I don't need, like you said, I don't need space that bad. Yeah. Like
realistically, I'm not playing all those games all at the same time, and with how fast the PS5 installs games, I'm good with just downloading and re-uploading or like deleting things as I'm done with them. So it's all good.
Right. It's totally fine. So But yeah, so whatever. We'll see what happens. The Microsoft one keeps like going on sale, so that's one that I wouldn't mind buying if it like went on like deep discount. But I'm not
That
gonna
one's
also
roughly
go out of my
also
way.
like $200-ish, right?
I think it came out at
MSRP.
250. I think. Let me see.
Yeah, which is in line
240,
with.
220.
Is it a terabyte?
Xbox external hard drive. Yeah, it's Seagate storage expansion card, $219. Yeah, it's 1 terabyte.
Okay, so that's pretty much in line with the cost for these. It's just a lot more work. So
Yeah, and this is like MSRP is 219.99. I've seen it like sub 200 on a number of occasions, but even then, like I don't need it that bad. Like
yeah,
it's like it would be nice, but it's not necessary.
it's all good.
So
Well,
it's really sleek in the back of the console though. Like it just pops right in and it sticks out maybe I don't know a couple inches.
yeah, how far we've come.
So
Basically back to memory cards.
I know literally back to memory cards, but it looks pretty neat. So I mean that's
Yes.
something that hopefully they can use in like future iterations of the Xbox too. So it's not like completely useless.
Yes.
But anyway, all right, let's round it out. So we've got, speaking of Xbox news, we've got some big Xbox news possibly. Looks like an xCloud streaming box, excuse me, may be incoming. So this one comes from Giz China, which I think is what, Gizmodo China?
I thought that, but the logo looks very different, so I don't know.
Yeah,
what
it does
that
look
is.
very different. That's why I got confused. So, anyway, this comes from Giz China, and they quoted here, back in the last month, the company stated that it is working with TV manufacturers to bring an Xbox experience to internet-connected TVs with no extra hardware, except for a controller, and that the app would allow users to access this game streaming service called xCloud on their TVs, which is now called like Xbox Cloud Gaming. For non-internet connected TVs, the company will offer another option, an Xbox streaming device that should act as a TV box on steroids. And it looks to appear that the prototype has leaked out in the wild, and it looks like a little white box.
Yeah, it's
that
like literally just a perfectly angular white box. I don't know how to describe it better.
Yeah, it looks like an Xbox Series or an Xbox One S, like it's that squared off. And it looks like that with no disk drive, and just like it's not that big, obviously either. It's got a USB port on the front. It's got that infrared button that also serves as a
Power button, presumably.
No, it's shoot, what is it? It's like an infrared that you can sync up your controllers with.
Like like your TV remote.
Like your TV remote, yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. What is it? Infra.
I like vaguely remember what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
so
remember hearing about this.
it uses to pair with your controller, and then it also has. Oh, here we go. Design is from early 2021. Looks slightly different now. It's supposed to be out by the end of 2021. Unlikely with global supply shortages. This looks like it's from.
Like
This looks like
4chan
it's
or
from
something.
4chan. Yeah, a little thicker and wider than deck of playing cards. Plug into the TV to stream from home console or play from xCloud. Just like Series X and S, the button by the USB is also an IR receiver. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was there. I just couldn't get the IR part.
Yes.
Any Xbox controller can be paired with it. Wireless keyboard and mouse support planned as well. Has Wi-Fi, but can also be hardwired, so it has an Ethernet cable port in the back. Will support party chat. We'll also be able to install compatible apps like HBO, Disney Plus, etc. And Microsoft wants Xbox to be available on every TV that you have, which we kind of talked about already. So the back of it looks to have like a USB-C port, most likely for power, HDMI, and an Ethernet cable port as well. So look, this is pretty cool. We were talking about it the other day, and it's something that I think will be probably $100 with a controller would be a competitive place to put it. I could see it launching at $150 with a controller and maybe like 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. I think that they have a good product on their hands here, because this is something that people could put under the tree, and look, it's like you've got everything you need to play Xbox games on your TV. So
Yeah.
I think that's awesome as long as you got a good internet connection.
Yeah, I think to keep it like competitive, something like Stadia, it would be 100 with the controller and like 50 with just the device. Wow, can't speak. But that's my prediction. If it even comes to fruition, this is all very heavily rumored. A million grains of salt, sodium overload, all that fun stuff.
Sodium overload?
Yes.
I mean, if it was sold by Nintendo because it has an Ethernet port, it'd probably be like $249. So
My God, and only in 1080p.
Oh my god, yeah, with an OLED display on the controller or something.
I guess I'm more surprised that the prototype doesn't look more like a Chromecast, and then it's an actual, like, it kind of looks more like an Apple TV box, I guess. But
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think that I think that you still need the box to sync up with the controller, and frankly, I feel like the Xbox controllers aren't as technologically there as some of the other controllers. Like, I know that the Stadia controller, there was all this hoopla about how it connects, and
the controller connects directly to Wi-Fi on its own, so it doesn't need to.
right,
Yeah.
right. Xbox does not. Xbox is just Bluetooth, so you need some sort of Bluetooth something. So it makes sense, and maybe it does get smaller. But imagine having like this big rectangular thing that has an HDMI that plugs into your TV. That'd be a disaster. So
Yeah. No.
I'd personally rather a small box like this. So, and it's cool because then you could also buy this and, like, I don't know, put it in another room. They have Xbox in every room.
Exactly, because you can stream directly from your other console as opposed to streaming from xCloud. So.
Right. Exactly. All right. Last bit of news here that we have is Xbox Game Pass stuff for August. So coming soon to Xbox Game Pass. This comes straight from news.xbox.com. Curse of the Dead Gods is first up. Let me just see here. I'm trying to see if all the games are shown here. Yeah, they are. Okay. Curse of the Dead Gods is first up, coming to cloud, console, and PC on August 5th. Dodgeball Academia is coming to cloud, console, and PC as part of the ID at Xbox program on August 5th. Katamari Damacy Reroll is coming out on cloud, console, and PC on August 5th. Luminous Remastered is coming to cloud, console, and PC as part of ID at Xbox on August 5th. Skate is coming to the consoles on EA as part of EA Play, which is part of Game Pass Ultimate on August 5th. Skate 3 is coming to the cloud as part of EA Play on August 5th. Starmancer is coming as a game preview to PC as part of ID at Xbox on August 5th. Art of Rally is coming to cloud, console, and PC as part of ID at Xbox on August 12th. Hades is coming to cloud, console, and PC as part of ID at Xbox on August 13th. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you are excited for that.
I mean, I'm not excited that you can't do crossplay, like you can't cross-progress, but whatever, it's fine, I'll live.
I'll tell you what you should be most excited for, though. Microsoft Solitaire Collection Premium Edition is coming to PC on August 17th, which is an ad-free experience as part of the Premium Edition, and it's got an exclusive Xbox Game Pass card. A card? Just one card?
The card back. I don't know. Like,
the card back.
Like the design.
I'm like, oh, it's coming. The card is coming back. No, the card physically has a back.
Yes.
And in case you missed it, all of the Dirt games are coming to Game Pass Ultimate as well. So EA and Codemasters are thrilled to expand the already packed roster of titles on EA Play with racing titles from 3 revered racing franchises. So Dirt 4, Dirt Rally 2.0, F1 2020, and Grid are all coming to Game Pass Ultimate. There's some DLC and game updates here that's got, I don't know, Gears 5, Operation 8 bundles, and stuff that you can buy with a discount through Game Pass. Dead by Daylight Archives Tome 8 Deliverance. I don't know. One thing to note here, this is interesting, they put this in here. Forza Motorsport 7 is leaving stores and Xbox Game Pass on September 15th. So if you like that game and you want to own it, I believe it's on sale for like $10 right now. So that is leaving the Xbox storefront. So pretty normal for some of these Forza games. I guess they run their run with copyright licenses and stuff like that.
Exactly. It's all the licenses for the cars and the music and all that fun stuff that all expires, and they're like, all right, well, next game. So
right. And another thing to note here is that leaving soon for August 8th, we are losing Grand Theft Auto 5 from cloud and console. August 15th, we're losing Ape Out on PC, Crossing Souls on PC, Darksiders Genesis on cloud, console, and PC, Don't Starve on cloud, console, and PC, Final Fantasy VII, the original, on console and PC, and Train Sim World 2020 on cloud, console, and PC.
Not Train Sim World.
I know, right? I would recommend Ape Out for those of you that like indie games. That is made by Devolver Digital, and it's quite a bit of fun.
Okay.
Not the best game you'll ever play, but
I played Ape Out for like 10 minutes, and I say it was so ridiculously hard for no reason. I can't even get past the opening credits. I'm like, all right.
Oh well, you're bad at games. I don't know what to tell you.
Clearly, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it. I don't know. Maybe I'll play it on stream before it leaves. It leaves August 8th. That's in like 5 days.
No, August 15th.
Oh, okay. Got some time.
I think that's what it said. August 15th. I think it was only
August 8th was, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. It was on my list. I was like, "Ooh, this sounds fun," and I tried it. I'm like, maybe it's not for me. I'll try it again, I guess.
it's not. I don't know. It's interesting. You just run around as an ape and like destroy things and people.
It's just very fast paced and requires a lot of like spatial awareness, which I guess my eyes don't have. I don't know. I'm like,
Well,
what
right,
killed
and
me?
like for
And I'll be
me,
like, a bullet out of
it's like
nowhere.
Tetris. Yeah, it's like Tetris in a different perspective. So I'm sitting there like, yes, I'm here for this.
I guess that's an interesting way to put it. I never would have considered that. But I wanted to tack on really quick PlayStation Now game. Oh, sorry, this isn't even PlayStation Plus. Never mind. I thought this was PlayStation Plus. I was like, ooh,
PlayStation Plus games for this month are horrible.
Yeah.
They're horrible. I think we talked about them last episode.
We might have, yeah. So never mind.
I
I was
don't
gonna say PlayStation Plus games for August, Near Automata, but no,
No,
that's not true.
yeah, those are good PlayStation Now games.
Yes.
I don't actually think that we did the PlayStation Plus games for this month. It's like
Oh,
Plants
here it
vs
is.
Zombies.
Yeah, it's like Plants vs Zombies, Battle for Neighborville, Tennis
Which is the
World
third one.
Tour 2, and Hunter's Arena Legends for both PS4
Yeah.
and PS5.
All
So
here is bad, bad, bad.
correct, and correct. I mean, maybe Tennis World Tour is good. I don't know. I haven't played that, but I also don't care for tennis. So if you're a tennis fan, get your Tennis World 2 out. All right.
Yeah.
I think that wraps up this week's wild ass dramatic episode. We have no Nintendo news, which is shocking.
You know what news we do have that we didn't cover that nobody's going to care about, maybe except for you?
What?
Disneyland announced their new season passes.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay, don't read it. I'm gonna read it all out to you, and I'm gonna
Okay.
get your live reactions. Ready?
Is it okay? Okay.
Okay. So. Okay. Oh, perfect. This is a great breakdown. Okay. Let me do a side by side so I can get a good thing here. Here, hold on. Hold everything. Okay. All right. So let's start with there's 4 different keys. They're called the Disney Magic Key Program. There's 4 different keys. There's the Dream Key, the Believe Key, the Enchant Key, and the Imagine Key.
Okay.
So
I already
these are-
hate this because they're named after like the Disney cruise ships, and it's so confusing already.
Oh, I didn't even realize they're named after the cruise ships. Anyway,
I mean, they're not
okay.
all, but there's a dream ship and a believe ship. I think. I don't know. My sister can correct me later. Go on. Tell me the things.
Okay. So, the first one is the Imagine Key, and it's only available to SoCal residents. All of these are reservation based, right? So you need to reserve before you're able to go on all of them. Doesn't matter which tier you have.
Like forevermore, or just temporarily during times?
As far as I can tell. So they didn't say that reservation may go away.
Okay.
So the Imagine Key is reservation based admission to one or both theme parks select days of the year, and you can hold up to 2 theme park reservations at a time, and you get 10% off select merchandise and 10% off select dining. And I'm trying to find like how many days are here. I could probably count them up. There's a lot of blackout dates though. It's pretty much like a weekday pass. There's literally not one single weekend. So I'd say, I don't know, maybe there's like 40 days here that you can go. 50 days maybe.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Okay.
it's low. I'd have to count them up. The article that I found didn't count them up, probably because it's so low. And that is $400.
Okay.
So not
not-
terrible, I guess.
Yeah, that's not terrible. Okay.
Okay. So remember, you have to pay for parking still. So that does not include parking. Parking is $25.
Oh my goodness. All right. Maybe it's not
Okay,
that
so
bad.
next
Maybe it's not
up,
that great.
we have the Enchant Key. The Enchant Key gets you reservation-based admission to one or both theme parks on select days of the year. Hold up to 4 theme park reservations at a time, and you get 10% off select merchandise and select dining. Now, there are 149 blackout dates with this pass. So that gets you, 365 minus 149. That gets you 216 days of access to the park. And those days are primarily on weekdays, some weekends. A lot of Saturdays are blocked out. There's like some Saturdays in January and February that are available, some in September, but mostly Sundays that are available, plus weekdays. All the holidays are blocked out. Almost all of summer is blocked out. Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, all the Saturdays and Sundays and Halloween in October are blocked out. Anything around a major holiday is blocked out. So that
Okay.
pass is $649.
Okay. That's not bad.
Now-
Does that one include parking?
That does not include parking.
What the hell? Okay.
So the Believe Key is the next one up. It's a reservation-based system, same as all the others. This stupid little gnat. You hold up to 6 theme park reservations at a time. You get 10% off select merchandise, 10% off select dining, and you get 50% off standard theme park parking. So your parking is now $12.50 instead of $25. And the blackout dates are, let's see, you only have 48 blackout dates throughout the year. So you've got Christmas, Thanksgiving, any holiday really in and around that holiday. So like random Saturdays, not random Saturdays, but pretty much every Saturday in October.
Anytime they do like a nighttime event, like Mickey's Halloween party or whatever. Or something like that.
But like Halloween's not blacked out because that's on a Sunday. So it's like all the Saturdays in October, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, July 4th, all the Saturdays in July, spring break time frame, Memorial Day are all blacked out.
That makes sense. I mean,
that pass...
Realistically, you don't want to go to things during those times anyway, but sorry, go on.
Right, so that pass is $949.
Okay.
Now...
And you still have to pay for parking.
And you still have to pay for parking. Yeah, that's like a joke.
Okay.
The Dream Key is the creme de la creme.
That's the Paul key.
This is no. Paul will not be buying any keys. Paul got keys upstairs. So this is the Dream Key is like the top one, the top key here, the top pass that you can get. Reservation-based admission to one or both theme parks every day of the year. You hold up to 6 theme park reservations at a time for different dates, and you get 20% off select merchandise and 15%, off select dining. So an additional 10% on merchandise and an additional 5% on dining.
Okay.
And drum roll, please, you get standard theme park parking included. So that is the case. You get 365-day access to all the parks with reservations, and that pass is a whopping.
Let me guess. $14.49.
$13.99. That was pretty damn close.
I was so close.
So $13.99. I know. $13.99 of that is what that's priced at. So.
I mean, how much was the previous? Well, no, the previous highest tier allowed you access into Disney World and Disneyland, which they don't even have as a tier this time.
I have to look at how much I paid for that pass, but I think that year I paid
$1,200.
It was I think it was like $1,700. Like it was up there. But that gave me access to like everything. Like I got like top tier treatment everywhere. I can get into Disneyland, I can get into Disney World.
Yeah.
It was it was wild. And yeah, so like I don't know. I know that most people don't care about this, but I don't know. We like Disney stuff, so
I'm fascinated.
Oh,
and they still haven't reintroduced. I wonder if it's going to be a similar structure for Disney World, because they haven't reintroduced annual passes for Disney World yet either.
No, they haven't, and I don't know what I was expecting, but this wasn't it. And
the no parking thing like bothers me the most. I don't know why it bothers me the most.
The no parking thing really pisses me off. Like it's so unnecessary. Like $25 for parking is egregious. I mean, it's just a lot of money, right?
Yes.
And it just bothers me that like they still can't include that. Like, what do you really like? You're really gonna be like, hey, pay up $12.50. Like, seriously? I paid how much money to be in this park? So it's just one of those things that really bothers me. So I don't know.
$1,400 for the top tier pass. That is essentially, it's like over $100 a month. That's a lot.
So we were paying.
But at the same time, like it's if you go once a month with the top tier, the Dream one, right, is the top tier. If you go once a month, that pays for itself.
Well, right, and that's where we're talking to Tracy, friend of the show. We're talking to Tracy about it and like whether it made sense for her to get the pass or not, because like she's local, but like who wants to go in the heat right now? Like, it's not, and like with everything going on in the world, you don't really know what's going to happen, whether we have to, mask mandate's going to come back or not. And, it's just a lot of risk associated with it. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's exciting that they're bringing it back. I'm torn on it because like not including parking, I think is a low blow. And,
that's like ridiculous. Like how are you going to spend $900 and only get 50% off? Like,
right. Like you're paying almost $1,000.
Like what's going on?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
this is proof that the reservation system looks like it's here to stay for the foreseeable future.
Yes, which I know we're like way over time here, but I also wanted to bring this up. So Disneyland Paris also soft launched its new Disney Premier Access paid FastPass service today. The pricing was at least revealed. So Disneyland Paris, for context, always had paid FastPasses. There was never like a free option. You always had to pay, similarly to like when you go to Six Flags or any Cedar Fair park or Universal. Even you have to like, you either get the regular ticket and you wait in normal lines, or you get the fast lane ticket and you can, you know, skip lines on certain rides, whatever. But with this, you pay per ride that you want to get on. And there's only a few rides that are available for this, including Big Thunder Mountain, Hyperspace Mountain, Peter Pan's Flight, Buzz Lightyear Laser Blast, which is whack, Star Tours, Autopia, Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and the Ratatouille ride. The pricing, however, for this is a little absurd. How much would you, Paul, as a person, pay to ride Buzz Lightyear's Laser Blast in the fast lane?
I don't even know. Like this like
what's your price?
I know what the price is. I'm pretty sure I saw you send it, but like I personally like fast passes have always been free. I think what I was okay with paying for the max pass thing, right? And that was what, $10 a day, $15 a day.
Yep.
And then that was to get, like, we would get what, maybe 5 fast passes out of that. So I'll round it up and say I'd be willing to pay $5 to get on early, like to get on, and that's like the max. Like I'm not paying any, like that's ridiculous.
Good news. It's 15 euros, which is currently $17.80. $17.80.
That's like USD. That's just absurd. Like there's no reason for that. It just like that. Like I don't know.
Hyperspace Mountain is cheaper. Hyperspace Mountain is €9. Star Tours is €8. Peter Pan's Flight is €15. Big Thunder's €12. Ratatouille is $12.
As you all know, I'm a big fan
15.
of Disney.
Yeah.
However, this like pisses me off. It just
like,
really irritates me.
If you added it all up, it would come out to over €100, I think, to get a fast pass for every one of these rides.
What are you paying for to get in? Like that's the part that I'm starting to get frustrated with.
I think
like,
the park, Disneyland Park, is not expensive to get in relative to the other parks. Like Disneyland in California is the most expensive one, where it's like $120 a day.
It is.
Disneyland Paris, I remember being roughly around like $60 or $70. It's definitely not as expensive, so that's kind of why I think they can get away with this. And I highly doubt that this would ever come to the U.S. parks. I'd hope, because this is a mess. But if they brought back Max Pass and like made it like $25, I'd be fine with that. I think Max Pass is excellent.
I would not be opposed to that either, because it's just, you know, Max Pass is like, it's just like it's literally like a flash pass like you'd have in Six Flags, where it's, you know, you pay for the day and you go.
Yes.
But yeah, this per ride shit, I'm not in Wildwood. I'm paying like a premium. I'm paying over $100 to get through the gates. Like,
yes.
You know,
I mean, you could just wait in the lines like a poor person. Anyways.
Yeah, right. I would wait in the line like a poor person.
We are at like an hour and a half, and I think this part of the episode, everyone's like, oh my god, there they go again, talking about Disney. But that's fine.
Nerds! Justin said, wow, way to show no love for Blaster Master 03.
Wait, did he spell it wrong?
He put Master Blaster 03.
Wow. Justin doesn't even know.
I don't understand. What did I not mention?
It used to be it would be under the Nintendo news, and we were like, "There's no Nintendo news." So
what? Blaster Master 03. That came out this week.
Initial release date July 28th.
Okay, Justin. Sorry, I didn't realize. That's another.
To be fair,
game.
It's also coming to PS4, Xbox, and PC, so it's not necessarily Nintendo strictly news. Or maybe it was already on those systems and it's just now coming to Switch. I don't really know anything about this game.
No, it's fresh. It's fresh.
Okay.
So it's from Inti Creates, which is the famed developer of Mighty Number 9.
I also don't know what that is, but
oh, come on. You don't remember that? Mighty Number 9? It was like a big Kickstarter game that failed miserably. It came out, it was horrible.
I don't remember that at all.
My hair is incredibly long. I'm getting a haircut Friday. Can't wait.
I'm excited for you. All right.
I'm excited for me too.
Well, that about wraps up our action-packed.
Is that a bink?
Listen, that about wraps up our action-packed, drama-filled, wild return to form, episode 122 Hopefully we'll be back on like a regular schedule this month, assuming that news continues to come out. I think there was a big influx of entertainment news because I think Comic-Con at Home happened at some point recently. But none of this news is attributed directly to that, so I don't know for sure. But yes, we are still in the kind of the dog days of summer, as Paul hates when I say, where things are kind of slow trickle and we're traveling around and running and enjoying our lives while we still can. So, anyways, we'll see if we're back next week. Hopefully, we'll be back next week, next Tuesday. If not, we will catch y'all as soon as possible.
Talk about being cynical at the end of the podcast. Goddamn.
Listen, it's fine. I'm just being realistic. But anyways, yes, we hopefully we'll be back next week with a new episode, new content. We'll definitely be on this week streaming. Hopefully on Thursdays playing some Pokemon Unite. Again,
yes,
we stream all of our episodes on Twitch live, twitch.tv/whatthefuncast. Go buy our merch.whatthefuncast.com. Join our Discord, discord.whatthefuncast.com. Pretty much put any word in front of .whatthefuncast.com and it'll probably take you somewhere. So
might not be the place you're looking for, but it'll take you somewhere.
Take you somewhere. All right. This is episode 122. It's Paul and Ahmed with What the Funcast signing off.
Peace.